We're here today for Gary Contessa YouTube channel and Gary Contessa Television. So, and we have one of the great riding legends ever, Jean Cruguet, sitting next to me. And, you know, he actually rode perhaps my favorite horse ever, Seattle Slew. And he rode, when he was riding Seattle Slew, it seems to me like back then I was kind of a kid. He looks a lot younger than me, but I think he's older than me. And I was enamored with Seattle Slew, and I really loved the game. But it seemed like they put so much pressure on you at that time. I mean, anything that could have gone wrong or anything they talked about, it was all about Jean Cruguet, Jean Cruguet, Jean Cruguet. I think if this horse had gotten sick at this time in life, they would have blamed Jean Cruguet. It just seemed like that, and everybody was just all about the jock. Tell us a little bit, like, what was that time like?
Like you said, you're right. Like, I know the first time I'm going to get beat, I'll be off the horse. That's for sure. So that's the pressure to begin. Believe me. And the Derby, if you watch the Derby, I win the Derby, not the horse. I win the Derby. Believe me, if you watch that, you have to watch the first 8 of the mile. Most of the jockeys will never win. Because some are too clean and some are too chicken shit. Believe me, I bombed 3-4 horses to get where I want to be. So.
And let me tell you, back then, and I bet you Jean can attest to this, Angel Cordero was lobbying to get on that horse.
Oh.
He would have traded 10 stake wins to get on Seattle Slew. I mean, every time there was a comment, every time there was somebody talking about Seattle Slew, for some reason I kept seeing interviews with Cordero, and he had nothing to do with the horse. That was Cordero lobbying to get you off the horse.
Each time he win, when I come back, he come back with me. Get up because he's on the rest, and he come back and shake hand to people. Very good horse, you know. It make sure, you know, I'm here, you know, don't forget me.
And sure enough, a year later, he ended up on the horse.
Yeah.
But it was in those days, it was just crazy. And you know, there was an incident before the Belmont. I mean, talk about pressure, where they brought Seattle Slew to the paddock late. And was that front page news? And I remember Jean standing there, and I don't even think the horse was there yet. What was that like?
Well, I know Bill, and he did on purpose. He wanted to make sure they're not going to ride without me in here. They're not going to scratch it. So he waited to the last minute to make, you know, come late.
And you know, that horse had a little bit of a short fuse. And so to bring him late to the paddock was the thing. And I'll never forget Bill saying, well, there were too many cars parked, because back then we had cars parked all over the barn area. You really couldn't get through. To negotiate your way from the barn area to the paddock was just unbelievable. But when Seattle Slew walked into the paddock, it was absolutely like the parting of the seas. And it was just incredible. I mean, there was a presence. It was like Seattle Slew came walking into the paddock. The light went on. It was just this one horse among many horses. But when he came in, there was a hush over the whole crowd. Did you feel that?
Oh, yeah, I couldn't feel, believe me. Like the Derby, too. And then he was a horse. He was jumping up and down all the time. He's not like the American Pharoah. He looked like a pony. That horse was a nutcase.
And what are you thinking when the gate opens? Seattle Slew getting ready to win the Triple Crown. You're on him. I mean, that's the moment every trainer wants to have, the chance to win a Triple Crown. Every jockey wants to have the chance to win a Triple Crown. Here you are in the gate for the Belmont. Every other rider in there wants to screw you. I mean, they want to stick it to you. They want to be the rider that got Seattle Slew beat. What are you thinking?
Well, and the only thing was, well, you come out of the gates. When you come out clean, I knew I was home. I went half mile and 49. The rest was over.
Right. And that's right. You gave Seattle Slew a half and 49. Forget about it. As a matter of fact, probably one of his most famous races, Seattle Slew, when a firm saddle slipped. My God, did he go fast half a mile and damn near won the race the time that Excella won. But absolutely the greatest horse I ever saw race as a trainer. At that time, when Seattle Slew was running, I was an assistant trainer for Jimmy Pacou. Oh, yeah. And you guys, the whole crew, the Hills, Billy Turner, all the owners were like my heroes, and they were folklore type heroes. And you were one of them, Jean. Absolutely. and just the feeling of euphoria after the race had to be incredible.
Thank you. I did that because I stand up there. Why do you stand up? I stand up seeing people because I tell that to people who pull my hostel. I want to make sure have you.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, we got Jean Cruguet, just a great memory and a great moment in the Triple Crown because I lived it, and I lived it on the other side of the fence, and he got to live it on that side of the fence. And you know, everybody in this business, no matter who you are, trainer, groom, hot walker, exercise rider, or jockey, that's the moment you live for. I mean, the groom who led American Pharaoh over, the groom who led Seattle Slew over, he realized his dream at that point of his life. So it's just incredible. And Jean, you got to realize your dream too.
Yes, and if you would have leave Bill Turner alone, that horse would have won the Traverse, he would have won everything. You know, the 2 days after the Belmont, Bill take off the shoes off, he walked 3-4 days in the shadow, and they came and said, oh, we're going to go to California. They make a deal, money-wise, and that was the end of the horse, I mean, for that year.
And for those of you who lived through that time, Seattle Slews, behind the scenes, Seattle Slew became very garbled, cloudy thing, you know, infighting between the owners and who wanted to go here and who wanted to go there. And it was just very hard. But you know what? Throughout the whole thing, Jean Cruguet here stood tall. And he was the man, and he won his Triple Crown. So it was just a beautiful time.
The only thing I regret, and when they fired Bill, I should have quit. I should have stopped riding the horse. That's the only thing I regret.
Right. They fired Bill Turner right after he won the Triple Crown. After this, yeah. And shortly thereafter, you know, it's just like a coach. You're a coach in this business, you get fired. Sometimes we all look at somebody getting fired in this business and you say, why did they ever fire that guy? How do you fire that guy? But it happens in every aspect of sports. The emotions take precedent over fact.
Steve got fired too.
Yeah.
Steve Cotten, you know.
Yeah, Steve Corden got fired as well. So I mean, those were tumultuous times. I mean, it was really something else. But you know what? Through all of that, Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown. Jean Cruguet won the Triple Crown.
They can't take that away for sure.
They'll never take that away. And that was just a shining moment. It was just incredible. Great time. Behind the scenes, a lot of craziness, but a great time, right?
Oh yeah, that was really that time. That was the 60, the 70. That was the best time of the business.
That truly was. Jean Cruguet won the Triple Crown. He's not in the Hall of Fame. And you know what? I'm not quite sure why he's been overlooked. You know, we don't agree with that. We don't decide. But you know what? Maybe when you at least suspect it, one day they're going to stick you in there and put you in there. I mean, in our lifetime, you're only one of 3 jocks that won the Triple Crown. And it's, 4 actually. And the other 3 are in the Hall of Fame or on their way to the Hall of Fame. So, I mean, it's certainly been overlooked. And you know what? In this business, we sometimes start a grassroots push to get something done, and maybe just the right people haven't heard us yet. Maybe we'll start that for you because you're certainly deserving of that. What you did for Seattle Slew is absolutely incredible.
I was hoping to get in Hall of Fame before my wife passed away. To me, it was almost too late now.
Well, it's never too late. And you're still with us, and we're glad to have you with us. And, you know, that's another thing. Jean was just mentioning his wife. They were inseparable. In the racetrack, the bond between husband and wife sometimes wears very thin. But I can remember everywhere I saw Jean Cruguet, your wife was there. And that was one of the greatest love stories on the racetrack.
If it was for my wife, nobody would know me, believe me.
Really, she was amazing. Really, truly amazing. And you know what? One day we're going to get you in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it.